Who says you need a garden to enjoy gorgeous, blooming flowers? These indoor plants don't just brighten up your home. They bring life, color, and even a little magic to any space. Some of them bloom for months, while others surprise you with their flowers when you least expect it. Let's explore some of the best flowering indoor plants and how to keep them thriving. And don't forget to tell me in the comments, which of these beauties is your favorite? Orchids. Phalaenopsis orchid. First up, the orchid, often called the queen of indoor plants, and for good reason. These delicate-looking flowers are actually tougher than they seem. With blooms that last for weeks or even months, orchids can instantly bring an elegant touch to any space. They love bright, indirect light and prefer their roots to dry out between waterings. So if you're overwatering, you might see yellowing leaves or root rot. And here's a tip. If your orchid isn't reblooming, try giving it a slight temperature drop at night. It triggers the flowering cycle. A little patience and the right care, and you'll have a gorgeous orchid putting on a show year after year. Kalanchoe. Meet Kalanchoe, the flowering succulent that thrives on neglect. If you're looking for long-lasting blooms with minimal effort, this is the plant for you. Those bright clusters of flowers, they can last weeks, and the plant itself is nearly indestructible. As a succulent, it stores water in its thick, waxy leaves, so you can water it just once every 2 weeks and it'll still be happy. Kalanchoe loves bright sunlight. The more light it gets, the more flowers it produces. Want it to rebloom? Here's a trick. Give it at least 12 to 14 hours of darkness each night for a few weeks, and it'll start forming new flower buds before you know it. Begonia. Begonias aren't just about flowers. They have some of the most stunning foliage you'll ever see. With their bright rose-like blooms and beautifully textured leaves, they add color and character to any space. But here's the thing. Begonias can be a little picky. They love bright, indirect light and need moist but well-draining soil. Too much water and their roots will rot. And if you want continuous blooms, deadhead those spent flowers. That means removing wilted blooms to encourage fresh ones. Plus, if your air is too dry, a little humidity goes a long way in keeping this beauty thriving. Cyclamen. Cyclamen might just be one of the most elegant indoor plants you can own. Those butterfly-shaped blooms in shades of pink, red, and white almost look like they're floating above the leaves. But here's what makes this plant interesting. It actually goes dormant after blooming. If you see yellowing leaves and think it's dying, don't panic. Just reduce watering and let it rest for a couple of months. Once it starts growing again, water sparingly and give it cool temperatures and bright, indirect light. Treat it right, and it'll reward you with fresh blooms every year. Anthurium, flamingo flower. Want a plant that looks like it's blooming all year? Say hello to the Anthurium, also known as the flamingo flower. Its waxy, heart-shaped flowers aren't actually flowers. They're modified leaves that last for months. This plant thrives in bright, indirect light and loves high humidity, making it perfect for bathrooms or kitchens. Just don't let it sit in soggy soil. It likes to dry out slightly between waterings. And here's a bonus. Anthuriums are air-purifying powerhouses, making them as practical as they are beautiful. Peace lily. If you're looking for a graceful, easy-care flowering plant, the peace lily is a classic choice. Its pure white blooms symbolize peace and tranquility, and the plant itself is super forgiving. It even droops when thirsty, making it easy to know when it needs water. Low light? No problem. Peace lilies can thrive in shade, though they bloom best with a bit of indirect sunlight. And did you know? This plant is one of the best natural air purifiers, absorbing toxins and freshening up your indoor space. Just keep it away from pets. It's toxic if ingested. Geranium. Say hello to geraniums, one of the most cheerful and rewarding flowering plants you can grow indoors. These beauties are famous for their vibrant clusters of flowers, their light citrusy scent, and their ability to bloom almost year-round with the right care. They love bright sunlight, so place them near a sunny window where they can soak up at least 4 to 6 hours of light daily. And don't be afraid to let the soil dry out between waterings. Geraniums hate wet feet. Want more blooms? Here's the secret. Pinch off faded flowers regularly to encourage fresh buds. Plus, Giving them a little liquid fertilizer every few weeks during their growing season works wonders. Whether you go for classic red, soft pink, or deep purple, geraniums will add a pop of color and an uplifting energy to your space. Christmas cactus. Last but not least, the Christmas cactus, the perfect holiday bloomer. This unique plant produces vibrant pink, red, or white flowers just in time for the holiday season. But unlike typical cacti, it doesn't love dry, desert-like conditions. Instead, it prefers moist but well-draining soil, bright, indirect light, and occasional misting. And here's the key to getting those beautiful blooms every year: cooler temperatures and 12 to 14 hours of darkness per day for about 6 weeks before flowering. Follow that trick and you'll have a Christmas cactus full of color every winter. Flowering indoor plants don't just make your home look beautiful. They bring joy, fresh air, and a little bit of nature inside. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced plant parent, there's a blooming beauty for everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more plant care tips and inspiration. Thanks for watching, and happy growing.